What do you think that we should do to entertain people at home?
I hate this show.
Oh, my God. So I don't look at the chat room. And now she's kind of brought that with her.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's ride!
A wonderful Tuesday indeed. Happy to have you guys here. Whether or not today and yesterday was just a tease. If it was a tease, then whatever. But it was a preview of the beautiful days ahead. Yesterday and today, at least 70 degrees. Good sun. You know, we had some things to take care of today as a family. But when it was all said and done, I was able to slap together a show. And I hope it's an adequate one. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll see if the show is adequate. But I even had time. I made time to go outside and even clean up the yard a little bit. Get rid of all the leaves because they're picking up greens tomorrow. Trash pickup day tomorrow. And the yard waste. So I said, I'm going to get on top of this because I think we might backslide back into the 40s again for a little while. But today was just so nice. And I hope that it was decent wherever the hell you are, too. I know some of you are already in the throes of summer. I don't know what to say about that. That's just, that's crazy. I think about some of you guys and gals who are living in the South and the desert land and all that stuff. And you're already in the 80s sometimes and beyond in February and all that. It's just crazy. But it's always good to know that there's a place to retreat, where we can retreat to every once in a while or whenever in need. Some kind of glacier event. I don't know. It's nice. I think we got a little bit of everything. And if we do just kind of like fall into spring now, we actually get one this year, that'd be nice. Because usually stays like mud season usually begins around now. And then suddenly it's blazing hot. I know I give a weather report every time I come on first, but that's the first thing I'm thinking about. And I didn't even bring a jacket to the studio tonight. So I'll be going home and not wearing a jacket. Isn't that crazy? You don't give a shit. None of you care. What the fuck am I even doing here? Anyway, tonight is Rude Tuesday. So we're going to do a little bit of news, and then I'm going to throw open the lines, and we are going to do something since the night that we haven't done since the night I tested this thing, okay? And just to let you know the rules, and I'll tell you again whenever the lines do open for real, but it's on Rude Tuesday. Callers have 10 seconds, and we have an on-screen. Where the hell is it? Where's the Rude Tuesday on-screen? Here it is. 10 seconds. As soon as I bring you on, say, caller, what do you got for me? 10 seconds has begun. And that's it. You have 10 seconds to make a complete statement, a shout out, a joke, something like that, a theory. You have 10 seconds to say something definitive, or, you can make an animal sound if you want. You got to say something at least intriguing enough for me to keep you on a bit longer and ask some follow-up questions. Because that 10 seconds is up and you're still in the middle of a sentence, it's goodbye. It's click. Click. And then we say something disparaging. Then I say something like, geez, What a waste. What a waste that was. Why even call? It's rude. It's supposed to be rude. So if you got thin skin, tonight is the night to thicken it up. If you can't put your words together quickly, try to. Okay? Rude Tuesday. I needed to do something quick. I said, you know what? Fuck it. All right. That's going to be the element to that. And then we also have to bring on Jason Bermas in the second half for about a half hour. I got to ask him some questions, in particular about this Jeffrey Epstein prison guard. Did you hear about this? Let's start with that story. We got a little bit of this up front. Listen to this. Jeffrey Epstein prison guard, Googled him minutes before his body was found and made mysterious deposit before the pedophile's suicide. One of Jeffrey Epstein's prison guards Googled, this is from the New York Post, Googled the sex predator minutes before he was found dead and also made a mysterious $5,000 cash deposit 10 days before the predator's jail cell suicide, the new Department of Justice documents reveal. Tova Noel was one of the two Metropolitan Correctional Center workers accused of falsifying records to say they checked on Epstein through the night before his August 10th, 2019 suicide. The guards were fired, but criminal charges against both were later dropped. Another Ruby Freeman situation I think we got going on over here. Noel Googled latest on Epstein in jail at 5:42 a.m. and then again at 5:52 a.m., less than 40 minutes before her colleague, correctional officer Michael Thomas, found the disgraced financier. I love the way that they describe him all throughout these these articles and news pieces. Pedophile, disgraced financier. He disgraced himself. Before they found him dead in his cell, hanging at 6:30 a.m., according to an FBI record of Noel's internet search history that night. Earlier that shift, Noel, 37 years old, shopped for furniture online and snoozed on the job instead of making the mandated checks on Epstein every 30 minutes while Thomas perused motorbikes, prosecutors said. The FBI highlighted the eerie internet search in its 66-page forensic examination of the Bureau of Prisons desktop computer of Noel and Thomas. It was the only search highlighted. When questioned during her sworn statement to the DOJ in 2021, Noel denied Googling Epstein. I don't remember doing that, she claimed. According to a transcript, she said FBI records were not accurate. I don't recall looking him up. Well, one does not have anything to do with the other. Recalling and accuracy. History is history. Noel, who has since been sued in Westchester County Supreme Court for alleged assault at her new job as a medical office assistant at, can you imagine that? At Montefiore Einstein Advanced Care. Also claimed to investigators that everyone at Manhattan Federal Lockup failed to do rounds and falsified records about it. That's incredible. You're on Epstein duty, and then you get sent to Westchester at Montefiore, and you assault people. Oh, what a day. What a world. I've never worked in the special housing unit and actually done rounds every 30 minutes, she told investigators. Meanwhile, Chase Bank flagged cash deposits in Noel's bank account in a suspicious activity report to the FBI in November of 2019. Another file from the DOJ revealed a total of 12 deposits began in April of 2018, the bank said, and culminated in the largest deposit for $5,000 on July of 2019. So April 2018 to July of 2019, and when was he arrested? So that might not be, I mean, it looks weird, but I mean, if it's all part of the same, who knows where that could be coming from? When was Jeffrey Epstein arrested for the last time? Just want to make sure. I believe it was in 2019. Yeah. He was arrested for the last time July 6, 2019. So as far as her getting strange deposits into her account going back to April of the prior year, I don't know what that could mean. But still, Here are some the liner notes. Here is Noel and this guy Michael Thomas falsified records about doing the required inmate overnight checks. They were originally charged with that, but the charges were later dropped. She made multiple suspicious cash deposits in the weeks before Epstein's death, including one for about $5,000 10 days prior, that were so unusual her bank filed a suspicious activity report with the FBI and the police on its own. But again, that goes back to 2018, so maybe it's not on the up and up, but at the same time, who knows? She Googled, here's the quote, latest on Epstein in jail, end quote, twice the morning of his death. At 5:42 a.m. and again at 5:52 a.m., less than 40 minutes before his body was found hanging. And then she told investigators she didn't remember Googling it twice or having you think about the interest that you need to have to Google it twice and cluster it around a certain time. An inmate told the FBI he overheard guards, including a female guard he identified as Noel, talking about covering up the death right after it happened. Now, that is something else I have to ask Jason about. This just popped up. Saw it over the weekend. I said, what the hell is this all about? 2 cameras outside of the cell malfunctioned that night. This part obviously is already known, but it's being tied back in because now it's fresh. Now it's totally fresh. And who the hell knows where it all goes from there. Okay? Also, an update on last night when Chrissy and I were talking about Tyler Oliveira and his latest expose that took place in Lakewood, New Jersey, with the completely government subsidized Jewish city over there, and how of course it is drawn a very unique kind of attention and backlash that just doesn't happen when you do it for any other investigation. It just doesn't. Listen, people haven't been noticing stuff like this. If people aren't waking up before, they better now. It's just crazy. It really is. Well, his website hosting company just banned his site a couple of days ago, and they had to find a new host because, of course, Patreon shut him down, so he had to go and set up a place for people to subscribe that was independent and separate from all that stuff. And his website hosting took him down. So, this is why we have the landscape we have right now in the media. Anyway, this is why we have Rumble. This is why we have Pilled. This is why we have Subscribestar and all these other smaller microtransaction websites and ways for people to tip each other and super chat each other, because it's not only that they don't, some people don't want to send in a super chat and have the parent company take 30% off the top, but it's also because if you like a show, if you want to invest in the future of media, no matter what the genre is, news, entertainment, what have you, it is becoming increasingly incumbent upon people to know where to find individual creators again, and to not, I've told you guys this for years now, don't look at Quite Frankly as a YouTube show. It's not a show on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber, nothing of the sort. It's access there as well as 7 other places. And whatever's good, however you got to remember it, fine. But I think it's good. It's a good challenge. Forces us deeper and deeper into independent and international waters, and I think that's a good thing. And along the way, whenever these shots are taken, you just have to take note. Have to take note, because it is crazy. That being said, like and subscribe to this show wherever the hell you are. Hit the notification bell. Make sure that they're all on. We are competing with algorithms. We are competing with politics, whatever the hell it is. Like, comment, share, and thank you so much, because that's really the difference maker. That's how you can sponsor the show every day with just a few clicks. All right, one more thing, then we'll open up the lines. A post regarding this is CNN on Twitter made a retraction, and they deleted a tweet. I thought was interesting. I had to go find the original tweet after this. A post regarding the two individuals arrested for throwing homemade bombs outside of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani's home failed to reflect the gravity of the incident, thereby breaching the editorial standards we require for all of our reporting. It has therefore been deleted. It has been deleted. What is it that they said? Here it is. Two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside of Mayor Zohran Mamdani's home. Here's what we know so far. So, two Pennsylvania teenagers. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City for what could have been just a normal day enjoying the city. Normal day, abnormally warm weather. It was fantastic. Let's go to New York, huh? Hey, bro, let's go to New York and enjoy the weather. You know, the weather in New York is so much better than over here in Pennsylvania. Let's go. So they go on off, just letting the day, the events of the day dictate where they're going to go. And wouldn't you know it, in less than an hour, their entire lives were drastically changed when they were triggered into making homemade grenades and throwing them at people they didn't like while screaming Allahu Akbar. It's just crazy how things could just change. Like life can just change at the drop of a hat. I think we all know that. We've seen that happen. People are here one day, they're gone the next. Things just happen. You know, teams that should be winning a ball game on paper, there's no way they could ever lose until they commit 5 errors, and the other team, it just, and all of a sudden you lose all your money, or you lose your whatever it is. I can't even imagine what kind of an experience that is to say, Aurora, how about we go for a walk in the park? It's a beautiful day. And then suddenly, Daddy is bombing a federal courthouse. He couldn't help himself. What are you going to do sometimes? Not make a homemade grenade and yell Allahu Akbar, throw it at somebody after you light it and scream, running around like an animal, jumping over barriers and running from the police? What can you do? Sometimes the spirit just takes you and you got to go with it. It's unfortunate that they were pulled into that direction because it could have just been a nice day. And of course, what triggered them into this action, this little blip, this glitch, that was the real ugly thing. People going out there every day and protesting against Islam or expressing their views in an unsanctioned way, that was the real ugly thing there. And if those meanies weren't doing it, then these two Pennsylvania teenagers might have just enjoyed Central Park, done a little fishing. Which, of course, if they would have caught the fish, they probably would have just said, look, a rainbow trout. And then take the hook out and release it back into the wild. They were probably so calm and loving. They wouldn't even want to take the fish home to stuff it, fry it. No. But of course, that wasn't it. That wasn't it because of those damn white supremacists making these precious Pennsylvania teens throw grenades. Precious. Ruining everybody's day. Hey, over in, where the hell is this? An official account of a Virginia state senator for District 37, Bangladeshi American, named Saddam Azian Salim. Is this for real? Is this for real? Is this, wait. He doesn't have a gray check. Does that mean I'm going to take this? This was sent my way. I think I saw it in the, he is Saddam Azian Salim. 36 years old. A Virginia State Senate member. Oof. Here's the tweet. My bill, SB 749, to ban the sale of assault weapons will be voted on today. When I ran for the state Senate, I campaigned on this, and I promised that we would make real change in my first term. Together, we will get this to the governor's desk. A guy named Saddam has come for Virginians' guns. Of all the states, Virginia, like the state, incredible. Oh, well, no stopping it now, I guess. It's just no stopping it now. Oh, gosh. It's just one of those things. Okay. I have some other stuff to get through here. I'll just start picking through, and we're going to bring ourselves to the top of the hour. So call on in. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is Rude Tuesday. It does not mean that you will only get 10 seconds on the show with me, but that does mean that you have to either give your shout out, a joke, whatever the hell it is, whatever. Either get it wrapped up in 10 seconds or intrigue me in 10 seconds. That means give me the theory you have or whatever the hell else, and I'll say, okay, go on, or something like that. Otherwise, that's just the way it is, and you're going to be gone. So, 914-200-0269. I'd like to see where the hell you guys are at tonight. I wonder how many people are going to cry tonight. Don't cry. Just play the game. This is a game. You ever sit down and play a board game? When was the last time you did that? Just play a game with me tonight. Call in and lay something on me. It could be, like I said, you can call in and make an animal sound if you want. Just wrap it up. And in the meantime, CBS News is investigating something in California. I guess they want to get on top of the investigation train here. We visited ground zero for hospice fraud. Everything is tainted. Absolutely everything. And we'll get around to that in a second. We have a couple people that are calling in. All right, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Frank, it's Mike Rogan.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Click.
You had to say it faster than that, Mike. I guess you just... was I interrupting? Moo? Was that me? It was 10 seconds is not a long time. Sorry, Mike. Oh, sorry, Mike. Just not going to happen tonight. Let's see. All right, caller, 413, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hey, Frank. Grady from Massachusetts.
Grady, go ahead.
So why does being an egg suck?
Why?
You only get laid once in your life, and you don't get to come.
Thank you. You made me laugh, and you just made it. Kind of. Okay, here's a new rule. As long as the punchline has already been started, if you're in the middle of the punchline and 10 seconds gets through, good. You'll be let through. I'm interested at that point. Mike wasn't at the punchline yet. Okay. Anyway, we'll let that keep going. All right. Over here, we visited ground zero for hospice fraud in Los Angeles. At age 69, Lynn Ianni is a pickleball whiz, zipping from dinks to drives energetically. When she suffered an injury on the court 2 years ago, she sought physical therapy and was surprised to learn her Medicare insurance wouldn't cover it. She was, according to Medicare records, dying and in hospice. Has this happened to you? I want to hear about it. Okay, we got another caller on the air. It's King. You ready? Go ahead.
Yeah, I need to ask you a favor. It's regarding last night's show. Could you do me a favor and ask Chrissy where to get that period blood jewelry?
Oh,
I'm asking for.
Oh gosh. What? Disgusting. Somebody else got in touch with me about that and said, what the hell was it? I think it actually showed up in a DM of mine. I think it was on Twitter. It might have been Poopy Butthole who sent it to me. The period blood jewelry. It was actually the breast milk jewelry. What did Poopy say? He got in touch with me. He said, why didn't you let Chrissy see the end result of the breast milk jewelry tutorial? That was so funny. And then he started quoting the whole exchange. Frank, All right, I've had enough. Have you seen enough? Chrissy, well, I want to see what the end looks like. It's not looking cute right now. Frank, I can't watch this. Chrissy, what does it look like at the end? Frank, it just looks like regular jewelry. Here, I have my grandmother's rosary. Yeah, that's kind of how it went. That's kind of how it went. I just couldn't watch and I couldn't listen to the person's voice anymore. But the smashing of dried up breast milk, like what did it smell like? And I don't know. Anyway, let's take a call. We've got a caller, 860. Go right ahead.
Hey, Frank. This is Rick from Central Connecticut. Connecticut has 3 public hearings going on tomorrow. One of them's for medical freedom, one of them's for homeschooling, and the other one's for guns. In writing written testimony, it is so hard to not just write, "You're all just a bunch of retarded faggots."
Well, wait a second. I wanted to hear the 3 things in Connecticut because I was right next door. So you passed the 10 seconds. What was the third thing you said?
Guns.
Guns. Well, okay.
Something to do with convertible pistols. They're going to try to treat every handgun like a convertible pistol.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, they're very scientific up there. I love how they're. Maybe we could just trim a little bit over here, do something completely useless that nobody who is actually going to go out there and commit a crime is ever going to care about anyway. But look, it's on my record. I have a wonderful gun control record. Vote for me again. Over here in Connecticut, while they're all individually highly armed, have the best of security, and I wish everybody that would vote against and vote for stuff like that go live in Bridgeport. Everybody in Connecticut who votes for shit like that should just go live in Bridgeport, unarmed, without any security for a couple of years. The worst part of Bridgeport too. Please go ahead over there. All right, we've got a call. It is over. 425. Go ahead.
Yeah, what did the janitor yell when he jumped out of the supply closet?
What?
Supplies.
You piece of shit. You got me. Supply. That's just so stupid. But I'll remember it because that's something like that's a joke that's good to like tell Aurora or something like that. When she learns what a supply closet is. I don't know where it all goes from here. Oh, we have to go back to the hospice thing. But let's take another call for the hell of it. I'm having fun. All right, Steven. Oh, there you go. All right, Susan, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hey, what do you call a bottle full of ghosts?
A bottle full of ghosts? Go. I don't know.
Booze.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh gosh. I'm going to regret this one. That's what we're going to get. Hey, Steven, what do you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Hello. Did you get it?
I did. I got it. That was a good one. That was a wild homo call. If you ever go into the woods in Connecticut at night, sometime around witching hour, you might hear that coming from the depths of the woods. Homo. Like, what was that? Oh, you don't know about the Connecticut homos? They live in the woods. That's where they feed. So anyway, this woman goes to Medicare and says, "Hey, listen, I got an injury from pickleballing. I need some help. I'm going to get my meniscus repaired." And they said, "Meniscus? You're fucking dying. We can't fix your knee. You're dead any minute now." And she's like, "What? What? I'm not dead." Like, "Well, we have it on the record here that you're dying." They said, "You're in hospice." And I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Are you kidding me? Do I look like I'm in hospice?" Ianni's Medicare number had been stolen and used by a company to fraudulently enroll her in hospice, specialized compassionate care for terminal patients nearing the end of their lives. It was another example of fraud in the hospice industry, long nationwide problem, but her case arose well after officials had promised to stamp it out in California, where the problem had been especially acute. Medicare is federally administered. The hospices must be certified for reimbursements, but the state issues the licenses for hospices to operate. 3 years ago, California's auditor sounded the alarm that Los Angeles County had seen a 1,500% increase in hospice companies since 2010. Daycares, medical transport, hospice. Oh my gosh, it's all gotta go. It's all gotta go. California should on their own be able to do stuff like this easily. Anytime there's some kind of national problem or an election doesn't go a liberal's way, states like California are like, we can do fine on our own. We should just secede. We'd be the 16th largest economy in the world if we were independent. Good. The 16th largest economy in the world can definitely take care of their own hospice needs over there. Don't need Medicare. Let's pull the plug on it all. So then at least they would be a little bit more, everybody would be a little bit more keen on keeping very close tabs on this stuff because they're going to be using precious dollars that can't be wasted because it's only going to be what they can generate from inside the state. You know, everybody loves federal theft because you can get fat and happy. Just sink your teeth into that ass. You just sink your teeth into that ass and just fucking jiggle it into your face. They love eating that federal tax wagon ass. Wedge their face between those cheeks. They love it. Smack them. Wave them. Waves of cheek. Terry, you there? Go right ahead. You got 10 seconds.
Hey, this is Kim from New Jersey. So what does the buffalo say when he drops his son off at school?
Who? What?
Bye, son.
I'm going to kill myself tonight. Let's just do this. Outlier, go ahead. You're on the air.
Why do chicken coops have 2 doors?
Why?
Because if they had 4 doors, they would be chicken sedans.
It just keeps getting worse, doesn't it? It just keeps getting worse. Well. It's what I expected. It's what I expected. I don't know. You know, have you ever, when it comes to this, guys, when it comes to the Medicare thing, I was actually just talking about it recently with what has to be established before you can even get Medicaid. If you've got an issue or something like that, like especially we were talking about with Tony. Everybody, please say a prayer for Tony. Tony's got a broken kneecap, and he is having a very, very hard time, getting back on his feet. I don't know if he's ever going to get back on his feet again, because for some reason, I don't know if it's just the surgery that would be involved or the healing time, but while he's laid up, he's not walking. And his house, for some reason, my mother told me about this, is such a stupid house. Tony's house, the only bathroom in the house is on the 2nd floor. And he can't handle the stairs anymore. So after he had fallen, and he I guess he busted his kneecap, they sent him to a rehab place. I actually have a video here that I had updated and uploaded for members and other people there too, maybe about a week ago. Let me play it for you right here. This was 2 weeks ago. Tony, 2 weeks ago. Hold on a second. We get it, then we'll take your calls again.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Frankie, I'm in the hospital right now. And this morning we went to another room where they're giving you like a little job to do things, throwing balls around. So now they got 6 pails marked, and everybody's sitting down. Old people, young people, old bastards like me. And they give you a ball, and they want you to see if you can throw the ball into the pail. And to tell you the truth, I got my kick out, said it to nothing. I came close, but then when the ball goes in, everybody claps. Clap, clap, motherfucker.
I love that video. Just trying to see Tony sitting in a room with all these other old people in this nursing home, throwing ping pong balls into a bucket or something like that, and he couldn't make one in. But anyway, it comes around to stuff like that where now it's like a game of sending him and other people like Tony who are in these situations who otherwise they can and should be out and on their feet, out and about. But, it's like they're moving from one facility or another until money runs out in one account, like Medicaid and shit like that. A lot of times that you won't even get any help until they see that all of your bank accounts have been bled dry. And that for a while there, I think that you need to pledge collateral. Your house has collateral or something like that, where it almost the way it was described to me almost sounded like a reverse mortgage, where you get to stay in your house, you get to even continue to own your car, but you give all the equity in the house to the government. It sounded like a reverse mortgage. I don't know, which are the worst things in the world. I've seen those things completely backfire in hideous ways. Unless you have no family left, nothing, I don't see any reason why anybody should ever get a reverse mortgage. It is horrific. But still, you think about this, hospice, the daycares. It's like, I don't know. Maybe these programs did have decent intention. Or perhaps people did see that, hell, this would be a wonderful way to degrade this country and its stability over the course of 3 or 4 very short generations. But listening to this stuff is insane right now. So if you have any questions, if you have any stories like that, I'd love to hear about it. Just write into the show. Maybe we'll do a call in on that in particular. So that was the update from Tony on Monday of last week or whenever it was. Now he's in another place, and I really hope they can get him out of there. But I don't know. So 95, 96 years old. Once you're on your ass for a couple of weeks, it's very hard for you to get up on your own feet. So I don't know what the hell the plan is going to be going from, but just keep them in your prayers if you can. All right, we'll take some more calls. Let's see here. 914-200-0269. Here's some media. This reel was sent to me by Matt. I don't know. It's ridiculous. He said, put this on the air, bro. And it's I think they're taking a screen, something from season 3 of Stranger Things. I'm sorry, it's a little crude. Leaving her house after busting in 30 seconds, knowing her whole GC, I guess that means a group chat, is flaming me, but I still hit. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid. Oh, 30 seconds. She should be grateful, to be honest. All right, let's take another call. This one is coming in from 512 area code. Go ahead, 512.
Hey, Frankie, why don't you pillow fight with death?
Wait, hold on.
Because of the repercussions.
Wait. No, hold on. Say it all over again. I didn't start the timer.
Okay, why don't you pillow fight with death?
Why?
Because of the repercussions.
This is getting worse and worse. Worse and worse. If I knew it was going to be 10-second joke night. Let's see if somebody else actually dares this. Let's see if somebody out there actually has the balls to say, Frank, I have a theory about so-and-so. Okay? I have a theory about this and that. Frank, birds are not only fake, but they are spies for South Pole Nazis. I'd say, go on, I'm listening. That's what I'm talking about. All right, 612, go ahead. You're on the air.
I don't really know what the fuck's going on with Iran, but I can tell you that I'm way more like to get fucked over by Trump than Walz and Kamala. I think at least Trump, if he impregnated you, he would leave you cash.
Click. Well, did she say she'd much rather get screwed over by Trump than Kamala? Well, I don't know. You might have a chance to find out. You never know.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
My favorite. My favorite. Everything about that is my favorite. With the egghead, the sad honking in the background because nobody was allowed conveniently to go to his low energy demonstrations and all that stuff. Absolutely one of my favorite pieces of media. And I asked my good buddy out there, I said, can you please just make his head bigger? Because I think it'd be funnier if he had a big head, but he's seemingly really upset at the idea of smart guys, like smart guys intimidate him. So that would mean that there was like this. It doesn't mean a bigger brain. So, okay. There's so much more. All right. 540, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh my God, I froze. So a termite walks into a bar and he says, is the bartender here? Frank?
Click. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with that? Well, that was a dud. Let's see. 612, are you on the air?
I'm here. What do you want me to do?
Go ahead.
What do you want me to do with that? Oh, I'm on the air? Let me mute you. I have a theory.
Click. Well, you should have. I should have been listening to the show. What do you want me to say? If you had a theory, you should have listened to the show and not the stream. You guys, this is fun. I'm having fun with you guys, and soon the fun is going to run out. We are going. Let's see. Oh man, yeah. Well, the termite joke was actually pretty good. I could see where that was going. A lot of the jokes were pretty good, to be honest. You got it in. Yeah, I would actually have to go back to these and write them down just so that I don't forget them. I think that Aurora is really going to like them because she started to make her own jokes. You know when kids start making their own jokes up and they make absolutely no sense? I like it. I like those jokes. They're almost like Norm Macdonald jokes sometimes, like non sequiturs or something like that. And you just kind of get left there. There's an awkward silence, and then they just start laughing at themselves. And you say, okay, that was a good one, kid. That was a good one. We're going to go to your super chats in a little bit. Remember, quite frankly, superchat.com, YouTube, Rumble, Pilled, wherever the hell it is. I've got 4 silver quarters for you. This is what you're going to be in the running for on Thursday night. I'm sending you a golden ticket, so you're getting a full bag of Keto Brainz, the greatest nootropic creamer out there. Which, by the way, if you want a sample of the salty electrolyte packets, I'm telling you should try it. Get in touch with me, and I'm providing samples of those just like I do with the Keto Brainz packets. They're awesome, and you should have them just everywhere you can. I'm telling you, you're all dehydrated. 75% of you, chronically, maybe more. Who knows? So, and there's that, and then also this awesome Mad Ball by Dean. You know, we had another friend, Nathan, out there. He's the one that won. He won a month at the Health Reclamation Project, Jay's website. He won the month membership over there. But guess what? Nathan said, Frank, you can give that away to somebody else in the next raffle because he's already a member at the Health Reclamation Project. I thought that was really awesome. So we're throwing that in as well. So you're getting a month on Jay's website and all the resources there, the lives that they have, the Q&As, everything there. You're getting this incredible original Mad Ball. It still has wonderful bounce to it. And the silver and the Keto Brainz, the full bag. So send in those super chats. In a few minutes, actually, right after the midway point, we're going to just open up the lines in general. I just wanted to dust off Ruthless Tuesday. It could be Rude Tuesday or Ruthless Tuesday. Here's one for you I got. Hey, CENTCOM, I've played this mission before. Give me control for 24 hours and I'll finish this scenario for you easy peasy. Now, I don't know, what game is this? Let me see here. What game is this? Oh, wait. Is this Age of Empires? It looks like Age of Empires. Here, take a look. The Strait of Hormuz escort mission. Historical notes. In the strategic Strait of Hormuz, Persian forces armed with fearsome elephant archers, ballistae, and fortified with guard towers in the surrounding cliffs have blockaded the oil routes. A vital artifact, in reality a rare oil substance, must be escorted aboard a heavy transport ship, a tanker, to a flagged safe zone at the other end of the strait. Failure, not an option as Western forces prepare for the fierce naval and ground engagement to clear the way. It looks like, yeah, those are all structures from Age of Empires, which I love playing. And you know what I'm going to start doing? I think this is pretty funny. So we're still trying to see what the next twist and turn over there in Iran is going to be about. But I think that one of these upcoming Saturday shows, like Saturday the 14th, this Saturday, I'm going to be live for a show. I'm thinking about doing that from home and maybe even firing up Steam, which is where I have Age of Empires, and maybe just play a little bit of that with you guys. Create a scenario, and that would be fun. Just thinking of little things to do on nights that I'm not going to be here. I think on the 20th, I might have my cousins back. We'll see what that all does. But I thought this was interesting. Because, remember a couple of years, like 10 years ago now, when 4chan, with the people on 4chan and a few other places were actually giving actionable intelligence to the Pentagon on where certain ISIS training camps were. Of course, the Pentagon probably knew. There's probably our people out there training everybody. But the internet can find anything. Anything. If they can find Shia LaBeouf's Capture the Flag, the He Will Not Divide Us flag, with nothing but just the sounds of local fauna and air traffic, that would be, it's incredible what can be done. Absolutely incredible. So I no doubt about it, you can probably game plan for a modern war through Age of Empires. I can see that happening. Jay Britt says, I hate this show. Click. ST says, prayers up for Tony. Yes, please. Hate hearing those updates. I wish there's something you could do. Just crazy that the house can only have a bathroom on the second floor. Like, you don't assess that situation when you're in your late 50s, early 60s, and you say, this could be a problem in 15 years. This could be a real problem. Shotzi says, dropping a little Tuesday support. Well, you're also in the running for some silver and some nootropics and a bunch of other stuff, Shotzi. Thank you. Joe Martinez, thank you. It's good to have you on. Let's take a call. Hey, Helix Patriot, you are on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, this is Randy. I'm calling from the leather shop. I just wanted to let Matt know that his leather hot pant order is in. Thank you. I can imagine that's probably something I'm going to tell him. Matt, did you order leather hot pants? Somebody called in to confirm your order. That's awful. We had two friends who had the audacity. We found out that they had leather pants. We never saw them with them on. You ever find out about something about a friend? You never actually saw them doing it, but you heard about it. Something that that they hid from you guys. I mean, we've got plenty of that. This one kid, Turtle Steve, we used to call him Turtle Steve. He kind of looked like a turtle. Found out that he was like cross-dressing and stuff like that. Turtle Steve. That was, I forgot who found the trunk of cross-dressing supplies. They were absolutely horrified. And it actually became kind of scary. It was a scary thing for us to hear. Like, oh man. Anyway, enough of Turtle Steve. If you have anybody in your life named Steve, you should just call them Turtle Steve from now on. Our friend who had no nickname, he was really into Creed. And, we liked Creed. I still like Creed. But I never saw a Creed concert, and he was going to a lot of them. Never missed one. And he went with one. He was starting to go, it got to the point where fuck Creed. Because we had a couple of friends who would only go to Creed concerts together and like wouldn't tell anybody. It's like, all right. You don't even tell us you're buying tickets in case we want to just meet up with you, have a guys' night, go to a Creed concert at the height of their popularity. Could we not all do that together, bro? So these guys were like, they became like exclusively Creed buddies. And we're like, you know what? Go fuck yourself, all of you. But that was not the most of it. We found out that they actually they're wearing leather pants. That our friend Vinny bought a pair of leather pants, unironically, to wear out for these concerts. And I forgot who told us about it. The other guy he was going with. Our other buddy. It sounds like they're gay lovers. They're not. But our other buddy actually narked on him. He's like, I like Creed too. But he showed up to one of these shows and he had, like Scott Stapp would go out there with leather pants on or something like that. Like the leather pants that Arnold Schwarzenegger wore in Terminator 2. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He showed up to one of the concerts and he had them on. I said, does he only wear them to Creed shows? Yes, he did this time. He's telling us this like a couple of years after the fact because they had gone to another Creed show after that and he didn't wear it. Like this was like, I guess this was like a leather pants market test. He's market testing the leather pants. You have to go someplace. You have to go someplace where you're not going to be judged, or if you're going to be judged, it's going to be with people that'll never see you again. Yeah. So that probably I wonder which pair of leather pants out there are his. They're probably still in existence. I wonder if he dropped it off at like a Salvation Army and a taller Mexican type of guy picked it up. So these are nice. Look at these. These are nice. Yeah, I like them. I'll hem them. I'll hem them. Give it a hem at the bottom. And then after a while, even he would say, I have no more use for these leather pants. I put on too much weight. Leather pants are very unforgiving. You can't put on weight. You have to be the same shape, the same weight you were when you bought the leather pants. You have to carry them like that. It's actually a challenge for you to stay in shape. And he probably brought those hemmed leather pants back to the Salvation Army in another state. And I wonder who then said, oh, look at these hemmed leather pants. Perfect. It's my size. That was probably like 2011. Somebody else picked up the now altered pair of leather pants that Vinny once owned to go to Creed. It's crazy. It's crazy where those pants... You think about where a penny has been. I wonder where this dime has been. Wow, this dime is from 1932. Think about all the transactions it's been involved in. Think about those leather pants. If you get hand-me-down, forget about it. It's been everywhere. It's been in the seediest of places. 914-200-0269. 914. If you bought leather pants, call in, Nikki says. I agree. If you've ever, ladies can get away with this. If you're a man who has bought leather pants and you're not a cowboy, like assless chaps, all chaps are assless, but I'm talking about Scott Stapp leather pants. Tell me about it. All right, we got a call from Aaron Moriarty. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, Frank. Yes, I have some leather pants, but that goes with my black Elvis leather outfit. And one time I had 4 gigs in one day. It was on 4th of July out here in Egg Harbor, Wisconsin. It was over 105 degrees that day. 3 of my gigs were outside. I drank 3 gallons of water, never peed. I sweated so much that leather suit was so heavy by the end of the night. And the last place I played was the Bailey's Harbor Yacht Club. And I thought, oh, good, an indoor thing. This is going to be great. It's a yacht club. I walk in there. It's hotter inside than it is outside. No air conditioning. But there was a bunch of Russians there that were huge Elvis fans, and we rocked all night, and it was a blast.
Aaron,
but boy, that leather got awfully heavy.
It's a great story. You are a Elvis impersonator?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. Shit. When did you?
Much. Thank you.
When did you start? When did you stop doing that?
When did I stop doing it?
Yeah.
Well, I still do gigs when people call me. I mean, it's a little further between gigs now, but when I was in Minneapolis, I was doing 90% of this lookalikes agency's Elvis, and they had 13 Elvises. I was doing 90% of them.
Wow, Aaron, you cornered them.
I almost got on a Prince. Prince was looking for an Elvis, and my agent pushed me, and he wanted the fat Elvis, not the skinny Elvis.
Wait,
so
the real Prince? The real Prince wanted an Elvis?
Yes.
So you would call. Wow. Well, thank you for the call. That's great. Aaron Moriarty, Elvis impersonator, who at one time almost completely cornered the market, the Elvis impersonation market in Minneapolis. He owned if you were in Minneapolis during those years and you needed an Elvis impersonator, it was probably him. 90% of all the calls. And the one time that the Prince said, I need an Elvis impersonator, they passed him over because he wasn't the fat Elvis. They wanted what luck to be that dominant in those years. Okay, well, that one definitely passed the 10-second test. I needed to know where the hell that one was going. All right, Anthony, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hi. What if people that say that they were abducted by aliens were actually taken by secret agencies and pretend that they pretend that they're aliens, and then they experiment on them with like drugs and procedures and some weird devices?
Well, some people think that. I don't know how many of those cases can be explained by that, but abduction could definitely be a lot of them. I mean, I remember not too long ago, we were reading about the CIA's program for actually faking alien abduction. So we know it has definitely happened. The real question is what percentage of them is that? Do you have an abduction story?
No, I don't. I wish I did, but I do know somebody that says that she was visited by aliens, and I just always thought that was weird. But she didn't say that they did anything to her, but she like saw them.
Well, the real thing here is we have to theorize as to how many of those visitations or abductions were actually black ops. And then, of course, how many of those visitations and abductions or anything like that were something that was demonic, poltergeist in nature, and then how many, if any, were actual beings from another place, beings that cannot be defined in any kind of biblical sense. That's the real question. So there we have it. Okay, we've had a couple of calls that actually lasted past 10 seconds. That was pretty good. That was great. Very nice. Over on Rumble, Jay Semo says, you need a sweatshirt today in Arizona. Really? What part of Arizona? Some of our friends in Arizona have been talking about, sunning by the pool already. This show format is hilarious, says Jay Semo. I like it. We tested it once, and then I left it on the shelf, and I said, I just got too busy. But we got to do Rude Tuesday every once in a while. I like it. Look at that. I'm getting people all riled up. There's calls flowing in from everywhere. 904, you're on the air. Test your luck.
Hi.
Who's this?
Oh, it's the girl again. This girl, my name's Madeline. Hello.
Hi, Madeline. How are you?
Great. I
What-
want to tell you something.
Okay. How old are you, Madeline?
What's before 8, 9?
4, 8, 9? Oh, wait. What? What?
Yeah.
What comes before 8 and 9? What?
6, 7.
Oh gosh. How old? Wait a second. This is the first time that anybody has even dropped those numbers on this show before. How old are you that you are and tell me all about this 6, 7 in your own words. What is this what does this 6, 7 mean to you?
It means nothing.
Yeah, that's what I read. And you like it, it's fun, right? It's almost like it's just an excuse to be silly, right?
Yeah.
I always look for excuses to be silly. As you might know, if you watch this show at all with your parents or whoever you're hanging out with tonight, it is a very silly show sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope I didn't say anything tonight that got you in trouble, or I know I have a potty mouth sometimes. I'm very sorry about that.
No, she hasn't listened tonight.
You know, sir, that was a very, very, very how slick of you. Who was I going to hang up on in 10 seconds when I get a call like this? I said, okay, I get it. This is slick.
Well, I knew you'd stay on.
Unreal. Well, you know what? Good on you. You beat the system.
Yep.
Yay.
All right.
Beat the system. Did it.
See? And this is why I say all the future jamborees have got to be family. I want to see families coming out to the future jamborees and having a good time. That's wonderful. See? The first night, people are finding end arounds on this thing. All right, it's 8:02. It's 8:02. Let's take a moment here just to kind of reset ourselves, because we're going to have Jason coming on the show in just a few minutes. And I just want to remind you all that this Jeffrey Epstein thing is just hilarious. And I wonder what it all means. I also have to bring up to Jason the thing that we were talking about the other night with Jimmy Dore and the missing prostate. What do we do with that? Where does that come from? So there's a lot. Here's another one for you. I'm just going to throw out there because why the hell not? I thought this video was perfect for Rude Tuesday. And since we just had one of our younger audience members call in, this is something I thought was great. So a father was filming his time at a playground with his young son, who was hopping from little platform to platform, like hopping lily pads or something like that. And last week, this little one fell down, and now he's going to overcome his fear of falling. But this is not the reason why I am bringing this up, and you'll see why. Here we go.
Jump. Nice. Ooh. Do you remember this jump? Can you do this jump? You got it. Big jump. You want my hand? Yeah. Jump. Nice. Jump. Jump down. You got it, boy. It's okay. You got it. Just be careful, okay? Ready? Yeah. Jump. Nice. Good job. Okay, do it by yourself. You got it. No hand. You got it. Jump. Just be careful. You got it. Are you scared?
Don't give up, kid. Let's go. Don't give up. Let's go.
It's okay to be scared. Here, I'll catch you if you fall down, okay? You got it. Jump. Watch that. Look. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Do the jump. You got it. Jump. Nice job, Zoo.
There you go. How nice he overcame it. It's not the reason why I got this. The reason why I pulled this video was because of the top comment. Here's the top comment. I jump farther than that. What he did is genuinely nothing remarkable, and framing it as some kind of impressive accomplishment is a serious exaggeration. If anything, it sits well below what should be considered average for anyone with a remotely normal level of physical ability. The distance itself is completely unexceptional, and the execution does not demonstrate any unusual technique, athletic capacity, or coordination that would justify treating it as noteworthy. There seems to be a tendency online to inflate ordinary actions into achievements simply because they are recorded and shared. However, basic movements that many people can replicate without preparation do not suddenly become impressive when a camera is involved. From a purely objective standpoint, the jump lacks any defining characteristic that would separate it from the thousands of similar attempts people perform casually every day without feeling the need to present it as an accomplishment. If anything, the more concerning aspects is how quickly standards appear to drop when something receives attention. When extremely ordinary performances are praised as if they are exceptional, it distorts the baseline for what genuine skill or athletic capability actually looks like. A jump that falls into a completely routine range should be recognized as exactly that, routine. So while people are free to enjoy watching it and treating it as something extraordinary, it is simply not supported by reality of the performance itself. The distance, the mechanics, the overall difficulty all point to the same conclusion. This is a very ordinary jump that does not meaningfully exceed what most people could achieve under similar circumstances. Oh, it had 257,000 likes, and I was one of them. This is the time taken. He gave you like 3.5 paragraphs. I'm sorry. I felt like I had to like that comment just because of the time put into it. That's fantastic. That's commitment. That is commitment. Okay? It's the same way that the little kid was committing to overcoming his fear, jumping from platform to platform. So, loved it. I don't know why. Because it's peak internet. It's peak internet. You know, there's no post too pure. And of course, this one is, going out of its way. They saw an opportunity to make a really long joke in going ridiculously hard on what is actually a very important developmental hurdle for a child, to get over that fear of bonking your head. But there is no post too pure to repel awful, judgmental comments. There is always a better dog sitter out there that knows that you're doing something wrong. There's always a horse trainer out there that needs to point out how badly you're doing and how much you're putting everybody, including the horse, in danger. There's always a better doctor out there. There's always a better parent, and they're always sitting right there in the comments of the most innocuous, innocent videos. And yes, we overshare, but damn, man. I mean, we should make it. I should make a new bit on the show called "You Just Couldn't Help Yourself," where we all highlight. And if you want to go out there and find these things, please go ahead and just start snipping it. You have to give me the link to the original video and then a couple of screenshots of the most ridiculously pedantic, annoying, obnoxious comments of people who just couldn't help themselves. Where we highlight the worst comments on what you'd think would be the least offensive videos on the internet. Just keep your eyes out for that. Please. Please. There's no limit. There is no limit. Anywho, let's see if Jason is here, and he is. And let's bring him on. Jason is a good friend of the show, but a prolific documentary filmmaker and a broadcaster. And in times of peace and in times of war, I like talking to Jason because it's just, I don't know, kind of soothes me sometimes. Other times it makes me feel like, okay, I'm not wrong and I'm not just a negative Nancy. So, I'm actually seeing what's happening right now. Jason, welcome to the show. How the hell's everything been?
Personal life and professional life, pretty good. Very busy. Just like rocking and rolling all the time, bro. I've got so much going on, like literally. The one kid is in 2 sports right now. The other kid's in a sport and has a job. On top of that, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, down at the Rust Belt. Thursday night, Dropkick Murphys. Friday night, and they were great, by the way.
They just played over here. It's probably the same tour. They played right next door to the studio over here, maybe about a month ago.
Yeah, they're on the Party in the Pit St. Patrick's Day tour. I love me some Murphys. 30-year anniversary. Literally the 6th time I've seen them. And man, I may have seen them over 25 years ago for the first time. So great time there. Then took both nieces, who are what are they now? Jeez, man. They are 15 and 16, and we took them to Old 60. I am not a country guy. I've actually never been to a country concert outside of I once spent the day on Willie Nelson's ranch with Alex Jones and Jesse Ventura. And then Willie played in Austin, and Jimmy Vaughn opened up for him. And Jimmy Vaughn was also super cool behind the scenes. Friday or Saturday night, my friend held this Trio 9 festival, Lady in Green, all these other bands. And then actually, even last night, after I had a full day tournament with one kid, went and saw Charlie Berens, who's kind of this Midwestern comic. You've probably seen him in your feed, the You Betcha guy. But he is very astute on the AI data centers. And he is fighting those out here in the Midwest. And he was just awesome. So on top of that, doing an Epstein documentary series. Working on it right now.
Wow.
30 seconds deep in a trailer. We're looking to launch the trailer hopefully by the weekend. Again, I've just been so damn busy on top of all that. And working on a 9/11 project we'll probably end up talking about sometime down the line that I think is extremely important and kind of really integrates with all of it, right?
Yeah.
All the craziness in the world. Pissed about this whole killing a bunch of kids, bombing a city that most people have no idea the significance of Tehran. You know, Frank, you're in New York City, right? You're in one of the 5 boroughs, correct?
No, just outside of the Bronx by a few minutes, but I'm not technically in the city.
Well, God love you.
Yeah. Yes, I have a little bit of a bumper, but that not much.
I don't know that that's even a bumper, bro. You got to get a good 35, 40 minutes out. You got to get past the Jersey Parkway, right? Like, that's the whole deal. Once you get there, then there's like some semblance of humanity. Anyway, your area in that metro area, that's about it's in the 18 to 20 million. It probably went down a lot during COVID, so probably around 18 mil. Heart of the city, 10, 15 mil, depending on how wide you go. Tehran is 8.9 million people right in the heart of the city, and it's 16.8 million people, kind of like what you would see 5 boroughs. We're carpet bombing it, dude. If anybody out there is dumb enough to believe that those are all military targets, that now we're not killing like women, children, babies, maiming them forever, and that's acceptable with you, I mean, I want to vomit, bro. I'm going to tell you right now, the things Trump has said after the fact, I've voted for the guy 3 times. I've stood up for him every time he's done the right thing, and I've took him to task every time he's done the wrong thing. I've never wanted to punch an 82-year-old fucking man in the face so hard. When I heard him say 2 just outrageous, I mean, there's probably 3 or 4. Okay, but let's start with the first 2 that he said. That were just totally outrageous lies. First of all, in the press, he said that essentially he got the Ayatollah before the Ayatollah got him. Now, I've never said this guy's playing 5D chess, Frank, but I've never said he's a moron either. I think he's actually a really smart guy. I also know, again, I've said it before, misogynist, actor, gangster. All 3 things, still voted for him. Those also, and especially when you're cheating on your wife all the time. you have to lie a lot too. So he's a pretty good liar too. We have to acknowledge all those things. I still voted for him. When he said that he thought he got the Ayatollah before he got him first, and he tried to take him out twice. Thomas Crooks is not connected to Iran. That is ridiculous. I mean, we're just finding out that Crooks had some weird medical stay in a hospital a couple months before. God knows.
Is that what that is? Because, whenever I mean, there are people who are trying to suggest that there are assassination attempts that were linked to Iran last year, and I didn't know if they really were going that far. Are they saying that Butler was part of that? Because
he's saying at least two times.
But Butler was one?
I assume the other one's the big Ukraine one. It couldn't have been this last kid that drove out there with a shotgun and just got smoked, right? So look, man, hearing that in the press, I wanted it to not be true. And then I watched a video of the ABC News reporter that said at the same time, in one of the same stories, maybe the same one, I saw that he had said that the strike was just too good, and they actually might have taken out some of the people that they were considering replacing him with. What? That's funny to you? Like you want to build something. I mean, first of all, 1,000% against this. But let's say you don't. Like you really want to get in and out. You don't have a strategic plan with somebody that's going to take over once you just kill all. I mean, they killed Ahmadinejad.
Okay. Yeah. Talk about that for a second, because Ahmadinejad, I remember, I mean, he would always make a splash every time he came to New York to speak to the UN, because he was very, very big on 9/11 truth. And of course, whenever he would talk about, the real mechanics of 9/11 and what it really was all about, of course, that would be the type of guy that would always get lumped in with, see, if you like Alex Jones, then you are Ahmadinejad. If you are Ahmadinejad, if you think this is real, then you're in this crazy circuit. And then after he left, he was the president out there or something of Iran for a while. And I didn't know, I had to go do some Google searching as to what he was doing ever since he left public life. And I heard that it was like, became a farmer or something like that.
I understood, he was kind of exiled. They didn't like him, and he was essentially under house arrest. All right. And for those that don't remember, because most Americans, unfortunately, man, they just don't have a great memory. This wasn't a headdress guy. This guy was in a business suit. He was coming at you in a very pragmatic way. He was very much, think about what we just did to Venezuela. During that time period, Chavez and him, when they would go to the UN, they were the most critical of U.S. foreign policy, because they knew that they were literally in the direct line of sights. Now, so many people were upset with what was going on. Afghanistan, Iraq, they were really able to expand the Middle East and Syria under Obama, right? It's this incrementalism. But now they've just taken the leap with the guy that said that he was going to give us peace in the Middle East and stop what was happening with Israel and Palestine. By the way, genocide, total genocide. It's continuing right now. Like, this is what I said. You go back to me and you talking like right after October 7th. We've been talking for years now. God love you. I love your show. But what did I tell you? I said, if you keep letting them do these things, they're going to keep taking more land. It's on the damn patch. It's not a conspiracy theory that biblically they get parts of Egypt, they get parts of Syria. They take more, okay? These people are out of their fucking mind, everybody. So take it serious. So if you don't cut them off after October 7th and say enough is enough is enough, like I'm sure another thing I want to puke, bro. I see Trump saying that he's pissed because they hit the oil fields they promised that they weren't going to hit. Now, first of all, like, if we had bombed all these people, and gas went down to under $1, to pre-2000 levels, like 2000 was like the last time, like in New York State, you tasted under $1 for regular.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. If that actually happened afterwards, I still wouldn't be for fucking killing. And I'm sorry, I usually don't curse like this on your show, man, but I'm just so emotional about it because it's out of fucking control, man. I'm not for killing 178 kids that we know about, girls, little girls. I don't like seeing dead kids in my feed, bro. And then, dude, I haven't had more anonymous trolls come in with bullshit. Like they all said that Iran had done it by accident and admitted it. And I mean, they had full propaganda lines. And then I got to see Trump saying the same thing. That's the line for me. I want to take a right hook over the top to that 6'3" motherfucker and say, how fucking dare you, man? I would stand up for him and his children. And he doesn't even first of all, those are far from the only dead kids. I want to make that extremely clear. Another thing he said, again, that Frank, that I don't believe that Israel or Jews run everything. Now, are they extremely powerful in the geopolitical arena right now, especially because it seems like they have the full backing of the U.S. military and other interests? Sure. Are they always at the table? Sure. But it's 100% that they have wanted to strike Iran for literally almost my entire lifetime. There's a video of Netanyahu himself. Then, in 1988, I think it was, talking about Khomeini and Gaddafi. Okay? So Iran and Libya, and if they got a nuclear weapon, they've wanted to strike there forever. So then I hear a reporter ask Trump, say, did Israel push you into this offensive? And instead of just saying something pragmatic like, no, it was a joint decision, blah, 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 blah. No, he goes, no, I may have pushed their hand. Pushed their hand? They've been frothing at the mouth like rabid animals to go in there for decades. You couldn't push their hand. That's insanity, dude. I mean, that just speaks. You see, I don't usually raise my voice.
No, I know. Listen, I can see you're very, very emotional, and I know that this has kind of put people at a decision, an inflection point on where are we going and what where do I stand on this, and where do my principles guide me? Are we even talking politics anymore? Where does my faith guide me? Is this a just war? If you're like, for example, like a Catholic or something like that, I've been thinking a lot about just war theory lately. And I'm like, how many criteria are checked on what makes anything that we're dealing with a just war? And I understand just from all the time that you've spent on this show, you've never raised your voice. I don't think you've ever cursed. So I totally get it, and people in the chat room and the comments all over the place are at complete odds with each other. I said this before, if something like this had happened 10 years ago, a war had broken out or something, no matter what the context was, people would show up every night of the coverage in greater and greater numbers, wanting new details and all that other stuff. And it's not. A lot of people are sick of it. As discussed, it could be born from disgust that they walk away, and the comments are of whether they're astroturfed or not. It seems like everybody's sick of each other, and it's nuts. I'm
not mad at my neighbor. That's the other thing. Like, I want people to be really clear about that. Like me and my brother were talking. Why are working class people constantly attacking other working class people? I mean, that's insane. Listen, I got something for the people that are waving the flag and ready to go. Ain't 6 dead on our end either, guys. Just so you know. And I'm not happy about those 6 dead. They're from Iowa. And there's some sad people around me right now. Okay? It ain't 6. Again, stop insulting this wasn't a Venezuela operation. First of all, overseas, they're reporting well over 1,000 soldiers. Do I think that's true? No. But I'm going to tell you this. Within the first 48 hours, there's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Dozens. I don't know if it broke 3. I don't know if it broke 100. Dozens of soldiers were dead. They're dead. Okay? By this point, mark my words. Okay? This isn't one and done. hundreds of soldiers are dead. I'd say bare minimum, bare ass minimum, it's 200 to 300. Now, it's trickling out in the news every once in a while that it's not being reported by CENTCOM, but some of these soldiers are all of a sudden dead. And then it's coming out that they, one at a time, like there's been a few of them.
Is that
very low key?
Is that
not
because
combat related?
Not combat related?
Yes.
So then, is that what would you surmise that is all about? Then is related to the hesitancy of admitting that we have assets on the ground, or are these naval losses?
Frank,
What
if they said after the first 2 days 500 soldiers were dead, if there were really 500, if they said 100 soldiers were dead, you'd have protests in the streets, and it wouldn't take some BLM billionaire to get people out there. You said 100 soldiers died in that mission. Maybe you get away with it if you're done, right? If you're done. If you're not done, that's it. That's a wrap. We're pissed. You can't say 100. You say 500, dude. There are going to be even a lot of conservatives that have been on the side of this that say, "Oh, okay, that's too much." I mean, mark my words, man. I don't make a lot of speculative predictions, and I'm basically speculating based on the military action that I've seen, what the foreign press is actually reporting, what is trickling out. You mark my words, man. There's a couple hundred dead at least right now on our end. On our end, for what? For fucking what? For the fucking chat bots out there. What? So you can guzzle another $1.25 plus for gas? Are you out of your fucking minds, people? Like, Israel is not, if they get Iran, guys, they go to Lebanon, they go to fucking Egypt. They might want a piece of Saudi Arabia. That's our buddy. And don't think that's not in the Saudis' head that have a pseudo alliance right now. Okay? I mean, I'm fucking pissed, Frank. This is crazy sauce, dude. Listen, it's one thing to be a failure, Trump, okay? And you did. You failed at it. On your day one promise of ending Ukraine and Russia, okay? And then making peace with Palestine and Israel. You didn't do that. It was bad enough. I wasn't loving it, okay? I gave you a pass because some of the day one stuff, and again, it's a conundrum because I don't think the other side is any better. I think this probably would have happened 6 months ago or more with a Kamala Harris administration. All right, but the fact that you fucking not only bent the knee, you bombed the fuck out of these people. You went into another country in South America and took out their leadership. I mean, it's insane, man. I just can't do, and here's the deal. You know, I haven't had to go to this for so long, but go watch my fucking movies, Loose Change Final Cut and Fabled Enemies, and tell me it was a bunch of radical Muslims with box cutters. I thought a lot of us grew the fuck up, man. Instead, I got to go into my goddamn feed and see a bunch of lunatics talking about fucking it's not Jim Carrey and it's some drag queen dude who fucking needs clicks. So he puts out a fucking AI generated image. Dude, and that's really sad.
What happened?
So,
I mean, I saw that. I saw the debate about Jim Carrey, but what?
So this guy who does makeup for a living,
yeah,
okay, he's a drag queen dude, and don't worry, everybody, he identifies as a man. He basically, you can go to YouTube right now if you want to, and type in Alexis Stone. And he's been Jack Nicholson. He's been these different women. He basically dresses up like them. And it's not totally like, if you're away from it, you can see like it's impressive at times, but it's not like, you know, if I don't know somebody's not in makeup, right? It's like maybe Bad Grandpa level with Johnny Knoxville. You know what I'm saying? So essentially what happened was in the beginning, see, this is how these internet grifts and trolls and influencer things work. And this is the psychosis of some of these people that think that they're quote unquote red pilled. All right. And it does. It bothers me. I did a whole video about it because it got under my skin so hard. So in the first like 48 hours, bro, all these tabloids were what did Jim Carrey do to his face? And because he's a 64-year-old man, and it looks like he got some fillers. He looked a little wacky. So all of a sudden, the theory is because all these people believe people are in masks and it wasn't Biden. Guys, again, it was Biden. You can see Biden, feebler than ever, totally dementia-ridden, on a plane getting confronted about Gaza, saying kids are dying in Gaza every day. And he goes, I know they are. It's him, guys. It's not a guy in a mask. It's him. So anyway, he sees this. So he posts this picture. And some in the alt media really fell for it. Okay, I just want to say that. Of the mask and the wig that, of the hair of Jim Carrey and then his makeup, and saying, we fooled everybody, blah, blah, blah. So then people actually believe that Alexis Stone was impersonating Jim Carrey at this thing in a mask. Now, there were other clone theories and all these other things.
Well, I heard that it was more so like more practical things that Jim Carrey was playing a joke and he was hanging out in New Zealand the whole time, let somebody go stand in for him, and eye color was different, and he was
so that's all made up.
Okay,
that's what I mean. So
okay.
so it's all again,
it just didn't matter.
Psychosis is.
Yeah,
but that's what get millions of clicks. So they put spooky music to it. They act like there's only 2 or 3 clips. I sat there and played. It's funny because it was on some French television. And at first, when I played it in the background, I didn't full screen it. I took the audio off. I mean, they zoom right at us. It's him, right? He also did a dozen interviews afterwards. I played a couple of them. It's him. So I played that. It's just like an 8-minute video of him speaking in French very slowly to them. Again, he's a 64-year-old man. He's not pulling jokes or whatever. And they made it geo-restricted like 48 hours later because I posted it everywhere. And people started watching it from other countries. So you now have to like watch my video to actually see that unless you're in France.
Okay.
But then Vanity Fair interviewed him. And I'm like, guys, the eye color thing, brown eyes. I had 24 pictures of him, brown eyes the whole time. They said, he's signing autographs with his other hand. 12 photographs of him signing with his right hand, painting with his right. He didn't change hands. There's no change in eye color. This is what I mean.
Okay, I get. Well, I see. That was more of a fun weekend.
These are real people, though. These aren't the see. This is what's bothering me. There's the bot army that refuses to show their face and have all these things, and they parrot the same talking points that now I'm hearing the president saying, which again makes me want to punch him in the face. And they're all cowards, dude. If you are a real person and you're doing that and you refuse to put your face behind your voice behind views, you're not real. You're a grift. You're a loser. Okay? You're an avatar. That's it. These are real people fighting me on my page and then bringing up the Joe. And I always tell, this is my challenge to anybody that believes that Joe Biden was in a mask. Okay. And I will be glad to show you how you can debunk this. Every single one of those videos is low resolution, over zoomed. It has the over sharpening filter I'm looking at right now as it plays back on Zoom for me for some reason. I can't get rid of it on my end. But if you've ever seen like the over sharpening filter, it's the same thing from Photoshop. So it's low res zoomed in and they see like a wrinkle. And then you hear somebody go, it's a mask. And you hear, it's a 30-second clip. You can always tell where he is. Hold on. And then all you got to do it. I did it every time. Every time someone sent it to me, I go find the high def footage of Joe Biden there for 25 minutes. There's no wrinkle in his neck. There's no one spooky music. It's him. He can't speak. He's got dementia. It's him.
I've said similar things in the past, and I'm not, and I love talking about clone theories. And it's also just standard operating procedure for forever for heads of state to have all types of body doubles and stand-ins. I mean, we knew that Saddam Hussein had like 35 of them. So that all on the table. I always ask the same thing. I said, listen, I get it. a guy like Joe Biden, who is so lost cognitively, is going to need a full-throated production team managing his public image to be able to make this even semi-passable for the average American media consumer, because you can't just put him out there. So no doubt he's going to be, everything about him is going to be overproduced, and they're going to try to manage every condition that he appears in publicly. But, you know, if they were going to replace him, or if they were going to clone him or anything like that, why wouldn't they get a replacement or a clone who wasn't retarded? Like, why wouldn't you?
Dude, just like, again, it's crazy. Listen, that's the other common sense stuff that just bothers me. It's like, again, what would Jim Carrey have to? Well, he did the Andy Kaufman movie. He likes pranking things, and I get it. Everybody loves.
But wait, because I got to get to Epstein, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this. But what do you think about? You think it's just a camera angle that one? I mean, even I was just like,
I'll give you another great example.
Whoa, wait.
Maxwell. Hold on, we're getting the Epstein. In the Epstein files, there's this picture constantly in memes now of Ghislaine Maxwell where her nose seems really shortened, right? And they have
fat
the side by side
and bulbous.
Let me explain what that is. I mean, again, see, this is why I go to the damn source material and not the meme. So what that is, dude, is it's a 3-minute video when they have arrested her and she's on trial. She's with the lawyer. And they're asking her basically everything, like, did you procure girls for Jeffrey Epstein for a sexual nature? And she just keeps pleading the Fifth Amendment. And they even ask her, are you pleading the Fifth Amendment because you're scared that if you say anything, you'll incriminate yourself? I plead the Fifth Amendment. It's her voice. However, what it is, it's a wide 1080p video, right? At the end of a table that's a very long table. You know, it's almost like a dinner table where you'd have 3 people in front, right? And she happens to be sitting at like almost the dead center up at a little top in the perspective, and the camera is low. Okay? So essentially, what you have is this optical, and I know because I shoot stuff all the time. Like if I change the angle of this lens from 45 to 90, you know how you sometimes get a fish effect and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Especially on this. It's the same thing. So it's her voice, the whole 9, right? And but what I did was, and it's super zoomed in because, dude, that picture, again, when I say 1080p video, you're looking at me in my full throttle, I'd be a third of my size. Maybe even less, maybe a fourth. That's how big she is. And that's what's creating that. Okay. It's nothing nefarious. But let me give you another example of why I get mad. What went viral, bro?
Are you talking about the video of the woman? It was somebody.
They can't wait to click on that bullshit, can they?
I saw it. Somebody made an AI, and it was almost like he was walking down the street and he was asking he asked a woman or something about, are you, he says Ghislaine or something like that.
Is it you, Ghislaine?
Outside of a cafe. And it looks like if you were going to age her and, you know, keep her face still kind of, you know, slim and chiseled and whatever, it looks exactly like her, but it was an AI imposed face. And, you know, that got a lot of people clicking. Oh, she was seen. She's living her life in Switzerland or something. And I said, yeah, okay. Well, we've got I understand I understand what's up against, what we're up against, Jason. Everybody in this chat room understands what we're up against as far as the amount of shit. This is exactly what we were talking about in 2017-18, when every other day we were getting headlines about the coming national security crisis of deepfakes. And we were convinced that was because we, at any given moment, we were finally going to see the things that were inside of Anthony Weiner's insurance folder on his laptop. And we were actually going
Anthony Weiner's running again, bro.
I know.
He's on The View.
I know.
He's running again. Like, have you seen that clip?
Yeah. I have.
You know, I thank you for reminding me, because I've been so damn busy that I haven't. They applauded him at the end, man. That's what I mean. We're out of it, guys. Like, let's. I'm not.
People are going to call you.
I'm not a Democrat. I'm not running interference here. We got a literal convicted pedophile on The View getting clapped up as he tells you he's a good politician and he's going to own what he did. Dude,
Jason, I don't even have to.
Angry.
I don't even got to look at the chat room right now, Jason. I know. What do you say to people who would say, man, oh man, Jason is delivering, force feeding the greatest black pill I've heard in years? What do you say to people who would deliver that message, or take that away from this conversation, that you're punch drunk from black pills?
I'm a fucking winner, guys. I hate to tell you. I've been knocked down a lot. I've been kicked. I'm out doing my family thing. I'm out going to the Dropkick Murphys. Where's the black pill? I'm living my life. Ignorance is not bliss, everybody. And just going along to get along. Well, we've got literal kids getting blown up in a city the size of New York, while the same network that worked with Epstein is still running the show. Howard Lutnick is in pictures on vacation at the island after he lied to everybody. Steve Bannon is nipples deep in Epstein. Okay? Yeah, it's not a black pill. It's reality. Ignorance is not bliss, everybody. You're going to want to navigate these situations. And I get it. You think because this is just going on in Venezuela or Iran, it's not going to affect us here at home. You don't know that. You don't know that. This guy is in here. First of all, the guy they're promoting after Trump is either Rubio or Vance at this point. There's one number one stunner, and it's Massey. And he's getting shit on all over. Okay, it's not a black pill. This is how corrupt everything is. All right? Dude, this is why a long time ago, after, I went in there 20 years ago thinking we were going to change the world. People were going to be held accountable for 9/11, etc. I'm just telling people to stay human and try not to be duped all the time. Dude, we're on disclosure soon. Does anybody think they're going to tell us the truth about whatever that is, especially if it has a military purpose? And I got news for everybody. It does. I mean,
you're talking about the promised disclosure on UFOs that should be coming, a statement that's already pre-prepared.
Listen, no matter what they tell us, we should be I'll be honest. It's almost like if they actually told us the truth, whatever that truth might be, you still might on their track record would have to reject it because these people are that dishonest. All right. Think about that world we live in. Now, I have my theories on what they're going to put out there, but I've told you on this broadcast before, and I'll say it again, guys, they could roll out a literal biological entity squawking, maybe even like making me think it's talking in my brain, head to skull technology, the whole nine, telling me it's from the Zeta Reticula system, roll out a craft that he walks into, or like maybe even like just like oozes into, who knows, right? And takes off, and I still wouldn't believe it's an alien. Just to let you guys know, the thing could touch me.
Well,
and I wouldn't believe it. I'm there.
Who knows what has been developed chimerically somewhere?
Exactly.
Yeah, all over. There's probably alien hybrid looking things a mile or so underground in several countries that we have agreements with to go and do some of these, to create them all. Listen, that is something else that's been promised to us, or at least dangled in front of us. I'm sure when it happens, I'll get a couple of comments from you. But before we leave, because we're almost at the end of it, I need to hear your thoughts about this in particular. We have the New York Post and other people who are talking about this Tova Noel, one of two correctional officers that was there on duty the night that Jeffrey Epstein died. Here are some of the takeaways, like I did before. Noel and her colleague, Michael Thomas, lied, falsified records about being, doing the required inmate overnight checks. She made multiple suspicious cash deposits in the weeks before Epstein's death. But of course, it says that she was making suspicious deposits going back to like April of 2018. So this could have just been I don't know. It could have just been something else she was working on, but still, she Googled the latest on Epstein in jail twice that morning, less than 40 minutes before Epstein's body was found, and then later told investigators she didn't remember doing it at all. An inmate at FBI said he overheard guards, including a female guard he identified as Noel, talking about covering up the death right after it happened. And 2 cameras, as we all know, outside of Epstein's cell malfunctioned that night. But it's been tied back into all of this stuff. So, how much would you put on these particular guards as being a paid part of the operation, whether it was an assassination or an extraction or whatever the hell it is? How much would you actually give that, or is this really just coincidence?
No, not coincidence. Not an extraction. They murdered the guy. Again, you look at some of the documents in there. It's clear they thought they murdered him, and you had to sign a non-disclosure. I forget. I'm not sure if it was called a non-disclosure, but they had set up something like that, and a lot of it's blacked out. But to investigate the murder of Jeffrey Epstein, what I think happened with this girl, I think she was corrupt. That's where the 5,000. I think she got set up. And I think at the very end, when she was maybe on duty and she thought she was taking part in something else, she realized it may have had something to do with Epstein because, I mean, the guy was still all over the news at that time. And maybe she just, maybe they picked her because he was that on the peripheral, right? She really didn't know who he was. Like she, maybe, again, that wasn't her type of media or her social media feed. And then at the very end, she looks it up. That's if she's the one that actually did the search, right? Like that type of metadata is pretty easy to fake as well. But yeah, I'm sure, a lot of them felt like they were going to be cooked after the fact.
It's the pretty,
I'll say it again. No one had killed themselves in that prison, let alone Jeffrey Epstein, for 13 years before that. No one's killed themselves since. Okay. Like we're at 20 years.
That's a pretty precarious position to be in, considering that you are essentially a very important loose end if you were on the take. And so I wonder.
They tried to prosecute her too. So again, we don't know.
And it was dropped.
She's already been under.
And it was dropped. So at
first, so maybe she played ball.
Okay, okay. You have to go?
I literally just got the text from my niece's choir right now. I wish I could do more, Frank. I will say this.
Wait. Real quick. Jimmy Dore said he stumbled upon something in all the Epstein files that in his mind proves that he was not killed. And it was that they found in the emails, he paid reference to the fact that he had a prostatectomy. It was taken out. And then in the autopsy, it refers to the size and the condition of his prostate as it is actually there.
I have to claim ignorance.
Okay.
But I'll say this. Remember last time I was on here and we were talking coded language and I said drugs. We now know from the documents the DEA absolutely had an investigation going into Jeffrey Epstein on prostitution and drugs, including ketamine as the main one. Just telling you.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, Jason. Fired up. Thank you so much for coming on, and all the best to you.
I love you, brother. We'll see you later.
Take care. There he goes. Jason Bermas, man on the run. Listen. Let me see. I don't even know. God knows what's in the chat room. He was on fire tonight. Like physically. He was on fire. Self-immolated. He's mad. Now, I don't know what listen, like I said, I told you what my approach to this entire thing is. I'm not very emotional about everything right now. You can say that it might just be numbness. Could be numbness where it's just where I am. And maybe that's because of the ability to not personally be affected by it. Aside from the fact that we're paying $2.70 for regular gas a few weeks ago. Now it's back up to $3.60. But, when you talk about life and death and wars and all that, like I said, most of where I've been lately is just contemplating concepts like just war theory, which I would actually love to talk to. Maybe I'll actually throw that into the fray with Tim Gordon, Jay Dyer when they both come on, or who the hell knows. But I understand there's a lot of mixed opinions on this, and people are still in a wait and see kind of a situation. And you can be of the opinion that the civilian death claims and proof or whatever the hell it is coming from unreliable sources. Just like some people, there was big debate on whether or not many of the civilian deaths, especially those that were that included children during the October 7th attacks and the violence in Israel with Hamas and the parachuters and all that stuff. And there's a lot of people saying, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, I need proof on that, and all this other shit. You could, could it be valid that everybody's just lobbing shit right now? Enemy combatants all around. So, I guess that was really what was driving Jason tonight. And of course, you guys and gals are always encouraged, welcome to call in to give your opinions on that. Were you vibing with what he said? Are you taking some things and leaving the rest? Do you think it was all just hyper emotional? And I have a super chat here from Rumble. Humbeanie says, Jason, no one cares about your opinion. So, I mean, are you with Humbeanie? Blazed Rhino says Jason's upset about something he can't confirm. I like Jason, but if he's got proof, show it. And so and I knew this is the stuff that would be going on in the chat rooms. Because there are many aspects about October 7th in Israel that people were just like, show us. No matter how grisly, show us, because this just something doesn't sound right here. Same thing with Iran. Where are the claims coming from? The death toll. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. To say that 5 to 7 American servicemen and women died in the opening salvos of the war, and then to say that we're now hiding possibly hundreds just in the first 2 weeks or the week and a half, however, what was it, March 1st? 10 days now. It was like February, the last day of February. The 28th is when the bombs started flying, right? So we're like 11 days in. We're talking 100. How do you keep that under wraps? How do you keep hundreds under wraps? How do you not have people, at least at some point soon in the military making claims and corroborating that they're hiding the death toll and we're getting massacred out here? This is why in the craziness, in all the craziness, I just listen to what everybody's saying. There's a lot of people out there who hate it, what's going on, even and reject the idea that this could be anything but something that is far longer than the original projection, because there is that whole other thing of history. When in history have you seen leadership inside of a target country be changed for the good and changed permanently through nothing but aerial assault? I understand you say, well, there's other people who are picking up the ground end of things with the Kurds and this and that and the other. Just, I don't know. This would be a historic turn of events if it all turns out to be zipped up quickly, neatly, successfully, and with a lasting peace and prosperity in the region and then, of course, subsequently the world. And I am all for being here to witness history. Let me see what else people are saying. As far as the Maxwell thing, now the AI thing of the woman who's supposed to be Maxwell just walking around, in the cafes in Europe or something like that. I looked at that and I think that they, even the creator of the video came out and said, no, it's altered, but it definitely takes people by storm. And honestly, I know we never got the big reveals The closest we ever got to frazzle drip level disclosures and confirmations was that Chappaqua deposition of a very shaky voiced person delivering a question that was never going to go anywhere. That was going to be laughed off and everything else. That's the closest we got. But back in 2017, 18, when we were getting deep fake stuff every day, we're like, oh, something's getting close. Well, now we just got everybody making AI for each other. And you know what? Everybody's getting deep faked. To varying degrees, of course. Some people are just not believing anything. And I guess that's a hedge against it all. But it's just one of them things. Let me see. Over on, quite frankly, superchat.com and the rest. Let's see what's going on in YouTube. Joricho up in Canada says, new guest segment, Rude Tuesday with Jason. We need more Jason and Frank in these interesting times. And Joricho just gifted 10 YouTube memberships, the Nugget level membership, to 10 people. To Toto Payne Diaz, to Marcus Baby or Bibe, the real Cody Reeves, the Pro Say Savage, Reno Mac, Kelly Abercrombie, Dear God Help Us, Butterscotch, and Nunya, and James Q. Holden. Guys, those of you who have been made Nugget members for the next month because of the incredibly generous Joricho, go into the members only section, enjoy all the stuff that I've been posting. You can get the links to all of the the members only blog stuff, the archives for whatever old the old book club and the film club stuff. You can watch the film club that we did just last Friday. We're going to do a follow-up to that film club session, a watch party on the 27th. You are full-fledged sponsors, as is everybody who is a sponsor through Twitch. You just go through to get all of your universal perks. You just click through into the Cigars and Brandy chat room on the Discord, which is linked to Twitch. And there, pinned to the top of that chat room, is the current password for the members only section on quitefrankly.tv. That's where you get your weekly links for the Sunday streams and everything else, all the video and pictures and behind the scenes stuff. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Joricho, for sending that out. Pablo Wenscapar says, hi, Frank. And over on Pilled, Corey says, click. Lynn, thank you. Quite Flappy says, if birds aren't real, how can they be laughing with you? Frank, will sparklers, yes, sparklers, fit into the mad ball? Will sparklers fit into the mad ball? I don't know what you're saying. I have a feeling that you don't mean me to take that literally. I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry, Tommy. AC says, I hate this show so much I can't stop watching. Safety Net says, prayers for Tony and put me in again for the draw. Love you, Lynn. Nathan says, all you need to know about Creed is Cowboys NFC Championship game with naked dudes swinging from ribbons. Don't remind me. Vesper, please give Tony my best wishes. I'll pass it through my mom. My mom's probably watching, so she'll send it along, but I'll make sure. JR at the Lake says, missed half of the show, forgot about time change, better late than never. Paulie9363 says, Jason Bermas can fillet me, essentially. Trump would beat his ass, by the way. F him. He was very emotional, saying he wants to get into a fist fight with the president. That's a very emotional thing to say. So I knew. I said, hey, if that's what your position is, you can state it on this show. And you guys should be welcome and encouraged to get on and tell me what you think. That's not my position. Not my position. In the fog of war, especially, what do they say? The first casualty of war is the truth. I don't know how Trump can fully trust the people around him. So there are some things. I mean, the messaging up front. There's some things about the first week and a half between what Trump is saying, what Marco Rubio is saying, describing the predicate for having to go in first, the Israeli question, which is, did we push them in or did they push us in? They obviously pushed us in. So we already talked about the messaging being awful. But all this other stuff being in it, what the hell do you really know? Massive amounts of military deaths on the American side. I don't see how that could be bottled up for long, at least. But please, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we open the lines. This is why we open the lines. Seriously. And you can also leave a message if you're listening to this after the fact, overnight, somewhere like that. Not only should you leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, put the notifications on, but you can go to speakpipe.com, speakpipe.com / quite frankly. That's our voicemail box. So if you want to comment on something that was said the night before, if you want to comment preemptively on something that we're going to be talking about in the future, leave a comment. Leave a voicemail. And it's just as good as, I screen them, and sometimes, they get through. Other times, I don't know, there's audio problems, or I'm put something on ice for when the topic comes up again. But this has got a lot of people heated. And then other people's opinions make people even more heated. Let's see here. Safety Net says Jason was a clone because never was so off the mark. Just my honest opinion. I want to know where the mark is for you. That's what it comes down to. If you don't like delivery, I understand that. But I want to know where the mark is for you guys. And, this is a little bit different than just one person sitting in their bedroom and reading the general chat. That's why we do things like that on, I'm able to do that a lot more easily on the B-sides, Sunday streams, things like that. But for the fully produced shows, I really want to see the lines light up, because these great calls, your rants, your rebuttals, they can also become really great golden nugget parts of the show, which can be clipped and put out there so that more people can see that we have our fun, but we're also having substantive conversations here. I'd love to get that on the radar for, there are billions of people that don't know about this show yet, out of the hundreds of thousands that do. We got a lot more people to recruit. Okay, well, that's all we have for right now. I'm not done yet, though. I'm going to be seeing you guys on the flip side. It's 9:00. I'm going to bring you over there right now, and we're going to go until the damn lights go off. So, welcome. Thank you. And there's people. Let's see. Frank's audience has grown, so the noticing must be squashed. Well, we are just going to keep growing. That's what we're going to do. And that's another thing. Anybody out there, I still want spring and summer video interns. If you know any young Gen Z, older alpha who is just stupid and knows, how to, if you can just spot ridiculous moments inside the show and remix it in some way, you want to just help me flood the internet with shorts and other ways to introduce this show and everything that we can do and have been doing for 20 years. Please get in touch with me. I'll write letters of recommendation, hopefully get you some credit one place or another. If clips that are monetized go viral, make a couple of dollars, you'll take it all. We'll talk about it. Just get in touch with me, because out of all the stuff that we're doing right now, I'd love to just recruit more of you guys. Timestamps, you see any timestamps of funny moments, poignant moments, whatever it is, get them in the comments or email them to me. We need clippable moments. You guys can be the reason why we do introduce ourselves to 1 million new people over the course of a couple of months, because one or two clips just go hog wild for one stupid reason or another. Because a lot of it doesn't make sense. So we're just going to play the spaghetti game. You throw as much as you can up against the wall. Some of it will stick. And at the very least, we'll be building ourselves a nice sizable archive. So I will see you. Come to the flip side. There you go. Get in there. Get on in there. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you to Jason Bermas for popping on in the second half. We'll be reading more of your... Jorico says, honestly, it feels like Jason has a really great message for the end of the chat to consider. He warned all of us not to take the black pill. 2016 to now has been a red pill. The community is great. You're ready to make the government you deserve. Well, Jorico, I'm glad. That's why I had to bring it up. I said, you know, I already know that people are going to say that you're intentionally blackpilling. There's some sort of a ulterior motive for bringing people down, or you're just assessing the situation completely wrong. But, you know, think about how he opened up the call. You know, that doesn't sound like he's living. And everybody out there in this room, in these chat rooms, need to take that approach. What are you doing? You know, go see some live music. Spend some time with family. That's the reality of it there. This stuff is going to be waiting for you. Things that you approve of, that you virulently disapprove of, it's going to be waiting for you. And, yeah, so it was, I understand where he's coming from as far as balancing all this out and being able to have those opinions and be passionate about it, but at the same time know that the most important thing is the kid's got to get to soccer practice, and this is your life, and it is fleeting. You know, spent a lot of time thinking about that recently. Just at a funeral today, actually, of a very dear friend. And so, yeah, leave some comments. Thank you so much for the time, and I'll catch you on the flip side. We got some laughing to do, hopefully. We'll see. See what I got going on for you.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. It's good to have you here, and it's good to have had a nice night with you on Rude Tuesday. It was rude through and through. Thank you, Jorico. Thank you, Jeannie Yankee Fan. Thank you, Pablo, Jay Brits, ST, Shotzi, Joe Martinez. It's good to have you all here, including Jay Semo and, where's the other ones? I'm sorry. Jay Semo, Humbini 2. I know there was the last one. Anyway, I don't know. Did you like Rude Tuesday? You want to do another one day? It won't be every Tuesday, of course, but I don't know. I had fun. Kind of put a little pep in my step. All right. Good night. Click the link. Come on over and become a sponsor.